Lovely viewers, today we are diving deep into a story that's bound to warm your hearts and maybe even bring a little tear to your eye. Imagine the scene. The glittering lights of an awards ceremony, the excitement in the air, and the crowd holding their breath as one of Korea's most beloved actors, Lee Min-ho, steps up to accept a prestigious award. But this isn't just any award. It's one that recognizes not only his talent but also the emotional depth he brought to a role that left audiences worldwide speechless. And what makes this moment even more special is the revelation he made during his acceptance speech. He credited song Hye Kyo as his inspiration. Can you feel the anticipation building already? Picture this with me. Lee Min-ho standing there, holding the trophy in his hands. His eyes glimmering with emotion, and he begins to speak. This role, he says, was challenging in ways I've never imagined, but I want to thank someone who has always been a source of strength and inspiration. Song Hye Kyo. The room erupts with applause, fans gasping and whispering, instantly realizing the depth of his words. It wasn't just a fleeting mention. It was a heartfelt acknowledgement that behind every nuanced performance, there was a personal story driving him. Can you imagine the curiosity on fans' faces? Who wouldn't want to know exactly what about her inspired him so profoundly? As Lee Min-ho continued, he explained how watching Song Hye Kyo's dedication, her ability to convey emotions with such authenticity, pushed him to elevate his own craft. He described late nights studying scripts, rehearsing lines repeatedly, and thinking about the way she would fully immerse herself in a character, capturing every subtle emotion. Her work ethic and passion, he said, reminded me why I fell in love with acting in the first place. Isn't it fascinating how inspiration can come from seeing someone else's brilliance? It's like a spark that lights your own creative fire. Fans immediately flooded social media with reactions. Can you picture the hashtags trending within minutes? Hashtag Lee Min-ho inspired by Song Hye Kyo. Hashtag award-winning performance. Hashtag dynamic duo. Everyone was dissecting his words, speculating about moments in his recent projects where Song Hye Kyo's influence might have been reflected. Some fans noticed subtle nuances in his expressions that mirrored the emotional authenticity Song Hye Kyo is known for. Others shared side-by-side clips, pointing out how her gestures, her pauses, even her subtle glances in past dramas could have inspired certain scenes in his latest role. It became an interactive exploration for fans, almost like decoding a beautiful puzzle. But let's pause and think for a moment. What does it mean for an actor to find motivation in another actor? It goes beyond admiration or fandom. It's about internalizing qualities that move you to push boundaries. Lee Min-ho admitted that he often reflected on Song Hye Kyo's performances, thinking about how she balanced vulnerability and strength, how she connected with audiences on such a deep emotional level. Can you see how that kind of inspiration could transform a performance? It's not just learning lines, it's embodying emotion, letting every gesture, every look carry meaning. And that's precisely what fans noticed in his award-winning portrayal. Even colleagues in the industry weighed in. Directors and co-stars praised his performance as layered, heartfelt, and entirely captivating. Many noted a new depth in his expressions, a subtlety that suggested he was channeling something beyond the script, perhaps the inspiration he drew from observing Song Hye Kyo's artistry. Isn't it amazing how professional admiration can ripple outward, influencing not just one actor but the entire production? It's like a chain reaction of creativity, each spark building on another. And let's not forget the fans' reactions outside of social media. Imagine the countless posts in fan communities, each person sharing their own stories of how Lee Min-ho's revelation inspired them. Some wrote about how they now view inspiration differently. Not just as something you find in yourself, but in the people around you. Others created art, edits, and compilations celebrating this connection between two of Korea's most beloved actors. The energy was electric, and the interactive engagement online reflected just how powerful a single acknowledgement could be. As we reflect on this moment, it's clear that Lee Min-ho's revelation does more than add a layer of depth to his award. It highlights the beauty of mutual inspiration. Song Hye Kyo may never have known she was behind this particular performance, yet her artistry shaped something remarkable in another person. And for fans, it's a reminder of the profound ways in which people influence one another, often in ways unseen until a moment like this makes it public. Can you feel the emotional resonance here? It's almost like witnessing magic unfold right before our eyes. Lovely viewers, imagine if we all looked around for the song Hye Kyo in our own lives, the people whose dedication, talent, and passion silently push us to be better versions of ourselves. That's the takeaway from Lee Min-ho's touching revelation. Inspiration is everywhere, often in people we admire quietly, whose brilliance becomes the fuel for our own dreams. So the next time you watch an award-winning performance, maybe consider the unseen stories behind it, the personal motivations that bring a role to life, and the silent muses who help craft moments that touch millions. And just between us, can you imagine what's next for Lee Min-ho? If this performance, inspired by song Hye Kyo, earned him such acclaim, the possibilities for future roles are boundless. Maybe we'll see even deeper emotional ranges, more complex characters, and perhaps moments that subtly echo the inspiration he drew from one of Korea's finest actresses. Isn't it thrilling to think about the interplay between talent, admiration, and motivation? As we linger on the thought of Lee Min-ho channeling song Hye Kyo's inspiration, it's worth considering the ripple effect this revelation has had, not just on fans but on the entertainment industry itself. Directors, producers, and even fellow actors are watching closely, perhaps rethinking the ways they collaborate and find motivation. Can you imagine the conversations behind closed doors? What inspires you to dig deeper? Who pushes you to bring your best self to a role? Moments like these remind us that artistry isn't created in isolation. It's nurtured by admiration, observation, and subtle lessons from those we respect. Fans have been speculating endlessly about whether Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo ever discussed this inspiration directly. Did he reach out to her before the awards? Did she know her performances were influencing him so profoundly? While we don't have the answers, the speculation alone has sparked a wave of interactive engagement. You can almost feel the collective heartbeat of the fandom, imagining a private conversation between two of Korea's biggest stars, sharing thoughts on craft, emotion, and storytelling. It's a tantalizing thought, isn't it? But beyond the gossip and speculation, there's a deeper lesson here for all of us, lovely viewers. Inspiration often comes from those we admire, sometimes unexpectedly. Lee Min-ho didn't simply mimic Song Hye Kyo. He internalized her strengths, observed her emotional precision, and used that as fuel to bring authenticity to his own work. And isn't that something we can all apply in our lives? Whether it's in art, work, relationships, or personal growth, looking to those who inspire us can help us reach heights we never imagined. It's a universal lesson packaged beautifully in the story of these two iconic actors. Social media has exploded with fan-made tributes since the award ceremony. Can you picture them? Videos with side-by-side clips highlighting Lee Min-ho's nuanced expressions and Song Hye Kyo's emotional cues, edits blending iconic moments from both their careers, and heartfelt messages expressing gratitude for the inspiration. Fans have turned it into an interactive celebration of artistry, a way to actively participate in recognizing the invisible threads that connect talent across generations and projects. It's almost like a massive collaborative fan project, where each post, each comment, and each edit is a brushstroke painting a larger picture of admiration and influence. Even commentators and entertainment analysts are weighing in, dissecting exactly how Song Hye Kyo's influence might have shaped his performance. Some note subtle shifts in his body language during emotionally charged scenes, while others focus on the pacing of his dialogue delivery, suggesting a careful emulation of her emotional rhythm. The analysis is deep and detailed, almost like fans are attending a masterclass in acting, using Lee Min-ho's revelation as the textbook. And isn't that a wonderful way for fandom to evolve, from just watching to actively engaging, learning, and appreciating the craft on a more intimate level? And let's not forget the emotional resonance this revelation holds for the actors themselves. Imagine Lee Min-ho reflecting in private, thinking about how much of Song Hye Kyo's artistry he absorbed without even realizing it. Or Song Hye Kyo, if she ever learns of this acknowledgement, feeling both humbled and honored that her dedication quietly influenced another performer's award-winning work. It's a beautiful cycle, isn't it? Inspiration begets inspiration, admiration fuels artistry, and the result is something that touches millions. Lovely viewers, this also opens up a discussion about the unseen mentors in all our lives. Lee Min-ho found motivation in a colleague, but each of us has people, friends, teachers, family, even strangers, whose brilliance inspires us in ways they may never know. Isn't it exciting to think that the next time you push yourself to achieve something extraordinary, someone else might be quietly inspired by your efforts? That's the beauty of influence. It's invisible, yet it spreads like wildfire when recognized and celebrated. And here's something fun to consider. What if Lee Min-ho's future roles continue to carry traces of Song Hye Kyo's influence, evolving as he grows as an actor? Could we spot patterns, subtle cues, or emotional signatures that fans could connect to this inspiration? The interactive possibilities are endless. Fans might start predicting the layers of emotional depth in his upcoming projects, comparing them to Song Hye Kyo's past roles, and sharing their findings in real-time discussions online. Can you imagine the excitement? Every scene could become a point of analysis, every gesture a conversation starter, and every emotional beat a shared fan discovery. So, lovely viewers, let's keep this interactive energy alive. I want you to think about the moments in Lee Min-ho's latest projects that truly moved you. Those scenes where you felt every emotion, every pause, every look carried weight. Now imagine that influence came from someone else, someone whose artistry shaped the performance in ways you might not have realized. Drop your thoughts, theories, and favorite moments in the comments. Which scene do you think showcases Song Hye Kyo's subtle influence the most? Let's make this a collaborative exploration of talent, admiration, and inspiration, a place where every fan can share insights and celebrate the magic of two incredible actors influencing each other across the screen. Lovely viewers, imagine the possibilities. Now that Lee Min-ho has openly shared that Song Hye Kyo was his motivation, what doors could this open for the future? Could we, perhaps, see them sharing a screen again in a way that combines their individual brilliance with this newfound connection? The thought alone is thrilling. Fans are already buzzing with speculation about potential projects, wondering if directors might intentionally pair them, knowing the chemistry is not only professional but also rooted in mutual inspiration. Can you feel the excitement building? The anticipation is almost tangible. And think about the creative energy that could come from such a collaboration. Lee Min-ho has revealed that observing Song Hye Kyo inspired him to reach new heights, to dig deeper into emotion and subtlety. What if that energy is reciprocated? Imagine Song Hye Kyo taking cues from Lee Min-ho's interpretation, resulting in performances that push both of them into uncharted territory. Isn't it fascinating to consider how inspiration can become a two-way street, creating a dynamic that elevates storytelling to an entirely new level? Fans might even start theorizing which genres or roles could best showcase this synergy: romantic dramas, intense thrillers, or emotionally charged family stories. But the ripple effect doesn't stop with just the actors. Directors, scriptwriters, and production teams may now approach their projects differently, knowing that the performers themselves are inspired by one another. Can you imagine the brainstorming sessions behind the scenes with creatives thinking, let's design a scene where Lee Min-ho's subtle emotional cues interact with Song Hye Kyo's expressive vulnerability? It's a tantalizing idea, isn't it? Each scene could carry layers of depth previously unseen, a subtle nod to the artistic conversation happening off-screen as much as on-screen. Lovely viewers, beyond the professional implications, there's an emotional layer here that makes this revelation so compelling. Fans love seeing actors as humans. People who admire are inspired and grow through each other. By sharing this motivation, Lee Min-ho not only highlights Song Hye Kyo's influence on his craft, but also gives us a glimpse into the vulnerability behind the glamour. We're reminded that even global stars are shaped by the brilliance of others, and that sometimes the quiet inspiration from a respected peer can fuel award-winning performances. Can you feel the relatability in that? It's like a universal truth packaged in a celebrity moment, one that fans everywhere can connect with. And the fan interaction has been extraordinary. Imagine the online discussions, polls, and fan theories swirling about potential future roles. Some fans are creating timelines of Lee Min-ho's performances, highlighting moments where Song Hye Kyo's influence might have subtly appeared. Others are sharing their own stories of personal inspiration, connecting Lee Min-ho's revelation to their own lives. It's a global conversation, interactive and alive, and it all stems from a single heartfelt acknowledgement. Isn't it amazing how one moment can spark such widespread engagement? There's also the playful what-if factor that fans love. What if we see a scene where Lee Min-ho's character mirrors a classic Song Hye Kyo performance? Or imagine Song Hye Kyo subtly responding in kind in her own role, creating a dialogue between performances without ever sharing a frame. Fans love spotting these kinds of artistic Easter eggs, and the speculation adds an extra layer of excitement to their work. It turns watching a drama into an interactive experience, where every glance, pause, or inflection becomes a point of connection between actors, fans, and the story itself.